wing shooters, out here on the coach's platform, coaching platform where I do all my instruction and stuff up at Peaceful, Beautiful Day. But I wanted to come up and shoot for the first time this well over 100-year-old Alex Martin 12-bore side lock, very light, wonderful, wonderful gun. Alex Martin, Scottish maker since, oh my gosh, 1830s sometime. Like I said, this one's well over 100 years itself. But anyways, I love coming down and I love shooting these old vintage guns, and you all know that. And so I shoot it at this particular presentation and made me think about, you know, this is a valuable presentation. People don't realize how valuable this presentation is. It's a lollipop. It's easy. It's very easy. But there's a reason why I have it here in my instructional course. As you know, pretty much all my presentations here are designed to replicate true wild bird patterns, flight patterns. Not anything crazy, not anything trick shooting, nothing like you'd see on the Clays course. And, you know, maybe this incomer, as this soft incomer, does represent some of the presentations you might see in the wild and through all the different seasons and bird hunting that we do. But for the most part, I have it here for two reasons. One is for the beginner shooter, especially the beginner low gun shooter who's going from gun introduction to now, how do we shoot in a proper low gun ready position for the field. And because the gun mount movement and the direction that the target's flying on are the same, so it doesn't make that complicated. It also gives the shooter plenty of time to really finish that mount and decide whether, you know, I can sit there and say, no, don't even bother taking a shot. Let's get that gun mount and then we try it again. But anyways, it's also a great presentation for the experienced shooter who's self-taught, who goes out there and does relatively well on birds, especially those very fast, quick, close, explosive ones, because that's the speed they move. And, you know, I sound like a broken record. I tell you all the time, we've got to learn to slow down because efficiency has a tendency to be quicker than speed does if we can take the most efficient route. And so this particular discipline, controlling the speed of your grip hand, something that we don't realize we don't have. We have a tendency to mount that gun on everything we see, slower, faster, in between. I want you to learn how to mount the gun at slow, fast, or in between. All right? And that's what this practice does. You're going to be able to break this presentation doing it wrong all day long. But to do it correctly is very, very difficult. And what I mean by correct is this. So we have the trap house in front of us. It's going to lob an incomer straight at us, which is going to stall and then die to the ground 12 to maybe 15 yards in front of us. Our reaction is always to move quickly, and we'll take a quick poke shot right there when we first see it clear into the sky. But if I want to control myself and say, I'm not going to bust that target till it hits that hover zone, bang. But at the same time, I want to start moving in harmony with that bird in the beginning, so I get to gather that information. That left hand, in my case, right-handed shooter, my right hand being my grip hand, my left hand is controlled by that target. And as soon as my eyes acquire that target, my left hand should be grabbing that target. But now I got to control the speed of my grip hand and not finish the gun mount, let it move in sync with my forehand, but not make a complete gun mount until I actually get to my cheek and want to squeeze the trigger at that time. So in other words, hitting my cheek, that cheek anchor point, and the muzzle touching that bird and me squeezing the trigger all happen at the same time at this hover point. So it should look something like this. Very slow, bang, okay? Very slow, bang. I start moving as soon as I acquired that target. I got those two hands working in harmony and in sync with that target, but I didn't finish the gun mount till I'm ready to squeeze the trigger. It's very easy to want to say, okay, I'll shoot it later. If that's what you want me to do, I'll shoot it later. And they'll see the bird, mount the gun, and then just ride it till it gets to that point and break it. You know, you'll be amazed. I bet you won't hit 10 out of 10 doing it that way. But if you do it the right way, you would hit 10 out of 10, because a lot of times riding the gun, we don't gather the information. This is a very sensitive target windage-wise. We're going to shoot right or left if we don't gather that information and just ride the gun, because our eyes get all mixed up with having that mass in front of it for so darn long. Remember, the gun barrel's a distraction. It's not a help. Win or lose, when the gun hits here, you should be squeezing the trigger within a microsecond before the distraction takes over our mind, and we lose all that information we gathered intuitively. Okay? So again, it's got to move nice and slow in harmony. As soon as I see it, I start mounting, bang, together with my right hand, left hand working together, getting to the cheek right when I'm ready to squeeze the trigger. And the other thing you're going to find when you do this is that when you first start slowing down, you say, okay, I've got the speed down now, I got control of the grip hand, but now the grip hand isn't finishing. It's not finishing its gun mount because you're not used to making a slow gun mount. And you'll come up to your chin and you wonder why you're shooting high over that target, even though it feels like you got all day long to break it. So now we don't fix that gun mount by speeding up. We fix that gun mount by more discipline. Go slow, but still finish the press into these two anchor points, which happen at the exact same time. Okay? We should be hitting these two anchor points, and the muzzle should be touching the target all at the exact same time. That's efficiency. That's what kills these birds quicker. Not gun speed taking the longer route to it. Okay? It's a great practice. I know it's not going to be fun, but when you finally can do 10 out of 10 in that absolute slow motion, and the birds are dust and not just little pieces chipped off of them, then you start having control over your grip hand. And that is one of the best tools you'll have in the wild. You will now have precision of their speed because you're going to be moving at every single speed precisely when that bird flushes. And that's a valuable tool for gathering information. Okay? Cheers.